What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for a brand new episode of Married to Medicine. Finally, we are on a schedule where this is episode 8, season 8, episode 3, New Year Old Feuds. We are finally don't have any reason for any distractions. When it first came on, it was the Meghan and Prince Harry interview that was on that took away from the ratings, and then last week it was the Grammy Awards that took away from the ratings, and now we have nothing to put up against it. So let's just get into it. They start this episode off once again talking about. Oh, excuse me. I hope y'all didn't hear that. If y'all did, I apologize. That was a little rude. They start this episode talking about how the doctors are faring. Being in the environment of having to work with COVID patients. And, we see Simone, she's just leaving her office at 2 something in the morning. No, 3 something in the morning. 3:57 in the morning. Then we see Dr. Jackie. She left her office at 4:18. Then we see Dr. Contessa going in at 5 something in the morning. We see Eugene, it's 4 something, almost 5 o'clock, and he's just not leaving his office, the hospital, whatever. Dr. Jackie was saying how she got so many deliveries. And, what really touched me was when Eugene was talking about how he's used to seeing like 25 patients a day, probably. But then now his workload has dwindled, you know, and it's 10 patients, but those 10 patients are COVID patients. You know what I'm saying? And he was giving his experience about, how he had his mask on, probably was double masking everything with a shield, but he was this close to a lady face that had COVID. And so dealing with their fear of what they have to go through. And, Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie, they deliver babies, they're gynecologists and stuff. And, these people, these women, they were already pregnant during this time. So that's not going to stop. So they still have to have their doctor's appointment and deliveries and stuff like that. And, it's just the fear that they have to live through, being doctors. So my hearts and prayers go out to them. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Those are some real frontline people, despite the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Then we get into Dr. Heavenly. She was talking about her practice. And people, um, dental doctors are just as much as doctors as anybody else, because let me tell you something. There are some surgeries and some particular things that you can't get done without making sure that your mouth is done, because if you let an infection or something that goes on in your mouth, it can travel and affect your heart and affect everything in your body, your brain, and all that stuff. So I learned about that shit. And you just have to make sure that you have all that intact, and that's why we need them. And Dr. Heavenly had offered her service to this lady named 18-year-old girl named Miracle. And I remember this story. I remember seeing the video and seeing everything that she said. She was out there protesting, and this guy got arrested. And she was telling him to say his name and his date of birth, just in case he wasn't able to get out, so they can look him up and try to help him get out or whatever. And next thing you know, a police officer came over there and punched her in the mouth. Mind you, she's 18 years old, okay? And she's a woman. This was a grown man that punched her in the mouth, and it was caught on tape. And her teeth fell out the front. And she said it was an unbearable pain. So Dr. Heavily, she saw it on social media, and she just felt like this was her way of giving back to the cause, helping her out, fixing her teeth. And she did a good job. She did a good job, because looking at that girl's mouth, you would have never known that something would have happened to it. And that's what I like, the fact that she gives them natural looking teeth. Like, they don't look so goddamn white or whatever. They natural looking. So, that was that. So then we get into Toya and Anila. Okay. So Toya and Anila, they're talking about how they're so great and fine and glad that they found each other. And, when she first moved into the neighborhood, Toya came up to her and was like, "Girl, what's your sign?" And we both found out that we was Aries and stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, bitch, we gonna get along just fine." And I was like, "All right, this is cute." And I guess this is just trying to show us another side of what's going on in this pandemic. I don't know, because Toya ain't got shit else to do but to play tennis. And truth be told, if I was stuck in the house all day, and I wouldn't mind having something like that going on around in my neighborhood or whatever. Toya said, listen, when she first got there, she started playing tennis a couple of times a day. a couple of times a week, and now it's like damn near every day she play for a couple of hours. Bitch, do you know how much cardio that is? That's some toning up, bitch. Do you know if I did some shit like that, how much weight I probably would drop like that? Plus my changing my eating pattern that I did, bitch. That's some exercise for your ass. But I see Toy really ain't got nothing to do. Okay, her and her little tennis club and all that stuff, and that's what they did until it started raining. Moving on from there, we get Dr. Jackie going over there to see Dr. Contessa and her new practice, and they was talking about that, and it's like addiction medicine. And she said basically addiction chose her because of the stuff that addiction medicine, I should say, chose her because of what she had to deal with her father. You know, we know the history with her father and how he wasn't always in her life because he was addicted to drugs and stuff like that. And if she said if he had someone like her or an addiction specialist doctor in his life, she probably would have got him a little bit quicker than she got him now. You know what I'm saying? And so baby, I was with Dr. Jackie when she asked that question. Maybe she gonna be spending some nights here by herself, because when I seen that bathroom, I said, "Oh, that is a nice shower. That is a nice. That look like the bathroom inside somebody's apartment or something. Are you sure you're not gonna be over there, bitch?" Dr. Jackie said, "I like it." Okay, and so she was asking her, "So how is everything with you and your husband? Y'all having this practice together, and at this point, contested like." I don't think they're doing the right things, but then again, who am I to say, because I'm not married, and I understand that you go through your issues, you go through your ups and downs, your peaks and valleys, in any type of relationship. But you can clearly see that there is still some lingering issues that they have not figured out. And Scott pulling out of therapy, and she not seeing a therapist herself because she doesn't have time to, and it's a lot of excuses that's being made. And I'm like, I don't want this y'all issues to mess up y'all business that y'all putting together as a whole. And it's kind of feeling like y'all doing this together to pacify and to put a band-aid over some duct tape over the issues that y'all have. You know how when you have a relationship, and to fix the relationship you get pregnant and you try to keep the man there so you have a baby with him, and that doesn't help. That's what it feels like with Contessa and Dr. Scott with this practice. And Dr. Jackie is a little concerned, as she should be, as I would be as a friend. you know um I don't think they, I don't know. I think they're just trying to pacify each other at this point. And they really need to seek some therapy or sit down and fully talk about stuff, because Contessa still feel a way about how he reacted when she went back to school. So I don't know. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about them two working out with this practice. Would you go into business with your spouse when y'all still have major issues going on that y'all haven't resolved? That's the question. So, Anila and her sister are getting prepared, the house prepared for the parents to come. And, we get a little background on their history. And I find that so fascinating, like learning about different cultures and their traditions and stuff like that. I find that so fascinating for some reason. I'm into history and geography and stuff like that. Like, girl, I'm a nerd when it comes down to stuff. But excuse me, this, you know, Anila and her family, they're Indian, and hearing the parents' story about how the father came to Georgia, they're coming from Savannah, Georgia, but they came to the States. He came to Georgia, or to the United States, when in the 70s, and he went to the University of Virginia. And then once he finished that, he went back to India, and he had an arranged marriage. He had to pick a woman from, I guess, the lineup, and he picked Anila's mother. And on the first date said, "Listen, I'm gonna take you to America. Do you know how to vacuum?" Shit like that. And it reminds me of the show that Bravo had on. I can't remember what it was called, but y'all probably saw it too, with the aunties. The aunties was the best thing about it. Okay, the aunties about it, and it was about the Indian culture and everything. Um, Damn, I'm so mad. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what it's called. But some of y'all probably watched it. But it was good. It was good. I liked it. I hope they get a second season. It was a reality show on Bravo that came on last year. But yeah, that was what was happening. And they, so much into their tradition. One of the traditions that they have is Riki, or what, something like that. It's about, I hope I'm saying Riki. Rakhi. That's what it's called. And it's about, brothers and sisters. And Anila was talking about how she couldn't participate in it because she didn't have a brother, she only had a sister. But now, her kids are brother and sister, so they want to keep the tradition alive. And the mom, being a typical mom, bringing all the fools and everything, and just demanding this. It was so funny when she was like, Ariana, to the little girl, tell your daddy he's an ECU plastic surgeon, doctor. Tell him why he won't do me, okay? Why he won't do his mother-in-law. And then when he came into the house, that's the first thing that she asked. Bitch, he was like, she said, so you do ECU plastic surgery or whatever? And he was like, yeah, I mean, you known this for how long? Since I've been in this family for 10 years. That shit was so fucking funny. He was over it. Karen was over it. That producers asked how do you feel about when they come there, and he was like, listen, bitch, I just be wanting to go back to work. So they got to deal with the mother and the parent-in-laws for, Karen got to deal with the in-laws and her parents or whatever for a while. And everybody just a little stressed out. And then we get to LaToya. Toya is over here stressed out about the kids and calling 4, 5 children, childs and stuff like that. And I thought LaToya had a degree up in teaching. I thought y'all said that she was a teacher or whatever. You need to, if she need to update her certification and update her knowledge, because mama is just, and I ain't even gonna put it all on her, okay? Because let me tell you something. That new math shit that they got the kids doing these days, I was looking at that shit like, what the fuck is this? Okay, girl, I'm smart. A lot of us are smart, and that shit took some of us out. Like, girl, give me my calculator. Now, see, this is how we did it back in the day. I am at the age where it's like we gotta say back in the day, bitch. I ain't even that damn old, okay? Girl, they done changed shit so much in a couple of years, it don't make no sense. But she complained about, having to do this, clean up the house and help with the homework. And that question that them little boys was asking about the metaphysical and all this stuff, she said, bitch, I don't know what the hell that is. I said, girl, I ain't never heard that either, okay? And I want to crack on Toya so bad because, girl, you ain't got shit else to do. But I'm not going to put down people that are home, housewives, whatever, and doing all that stuff from home. They got a little stuff to do, but Toya she just complains so much. Okay, she complains so much. The pandemic has really forced y'all to actually interact with y'all kids, and some of y'all don't like it. That's what it all boils down to. So Anila is getting ready for the Reiki ceremony celebration, and she gets on the phone with Toya and basically tells Toya that she invited I guess she invited all of the girls, including Contessa. And what we didn't see is that Contessa and Toya got into it a little bit at what's that place, at Heavenly's place or whatever. When Toya was in her drunken mode and she was like, you came home to my house and you came to it talking about something, why I gotta take my shoes off and all this stuff and boo boo boo. And I'm like, these two, oil and vinegar, they just don't mix. Okay, I don't ever see them being actual friends. Okay, so they're just gonna get into it. They'll be cool for like literally a hot second, and then it takes literally nothing to switch that shit off. You know what I'm saying? And to blow everything up. So, of course, Toya had something, felt the way about that, but it is what it is. So then we get into Dr. Heavenly. She's at her house. Quad comes over. Miss Quad, Miss Quad, Miss Quad, Miss Quad. They done downgraded Quad down to a goddamn friend of the show. I guess she ain't married to medicine no more, so hell. But they got housewives on the show that ain't even housewives, so on Real Housewives franchise. So I mean, it is what it is. Like her storyline ain't really been that interesting and one that interesting. But then again, Quiet did adopt a new baby, so that could have been a bomb ass storyline. We could have seen her in another light or whatever. She couldn't give her husband a baby, but she sure enough got a baby on her own. I think the thing is she just didn't want one with Dr. Gregory. Okay, she didn't want one with that man because she wasn't in love with that man. But anyway, moving on from that. Check that. So they go up into Heavenly's 3-story closet. Quad said, bitch, I don't understand why it got to be 3-story because, bitch, it ain't the fashions, okay? And if you watch Heavenly's videos or whatever, that's where she do her blogging and stuff from. Where cause she reviews these shows as well. So they get to talking and, Quad is dating potential guys. She's not sleeping with them. They're joking about how many people they've been with and, Heavenly sex life and who she been with. She talking about she only been with one person. Girl, if you want to tell that lie, we'll go ahead with it. But if you say so. But then Quad was like, so how all the girls been? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? She was like, I mean, everybody been cool, but what's going on with Toya? Like, Toya, she's mean. And then Quad was like, what, girl? I don't understand that. What's going on? She was like, y'all cool? Yeah, we been cool. We've been talking and stuff like that. And then here go Heavily messy ass. She said, well, bitch, since you sitting here thinking that y'all cool, let me show you this video. So I remember when this happened, this live, because it was put on my timeline. Cecil and Simone was on live, and Toya, she was just going off about Dr. Heavenly. She was going off about everybody, and she went off about Quad a little bit. Was basically saying that they be up in Quad little ass apartment talking shit and all this stuff and woo woo whatever. Y'all saw the video, okay? And so at this point, Quad was a little confused, like, where did this come from? See, bitch, you don't want me to say nothing about you because I can spill all your tea about your house. And she hit the nail on the head. Toya feels as though she has to have a certain zip code or a certain car or a certain type of material things to validate her, to make her seem like she's somebody because she has nothing going for her. To be quite honest, that's how I feel, And I don't mesh well with people like that need material things and status to validate them, and we clearly see that that's what's going on with Toya. And like Quad said, that bitch will work her husband into an early grave, and she don't care about it, and we see it, okay. At the same time, she was like, I mean, I said, damn, so we couldn't just go talk to Toya or whatever. We just gonna start spilling her tea too. I said, all right, well, let's just get fucking messy then. If that's the case, let's get messy. And that's exactly what happened because Twat said, bitch, let me spill your tea because I could tell you how you got your house since you talking about my apartment. You barely got your shit. Bitch, you took out a personal loan, not a business loan, a personal loan of $100,000 just to get your goddamn pool. I said, hold up. This is where we're going, this direction. She said, yes, bitch, this is where we're going. I said, oh, no. And Dr. Heavenly was like, you didn't see this video before? No, I didn't. Okay. She was like, well, damn, maybe I shouldn't have shown you the video. I said, Heavenly, you knew exactly what the fuck you was doing. Meanwhile, it's time for the celebration, the Riki Indian celebration, and everybody's showing up at this Indian restaurant. Anila and her family and their colors and their wardrobe, they all look beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody starts showing up. We got Simone there. Cecil couldn't make it because he's out of town with Michael. Toya shows up. Contessa shows up. Of course, Toya turns her nose up a little bit. She trying to make fun of her headpiece. And I'm like, what's wrong with her headpiece, Toya? You just want to find something to just nag at and to talk shit about. Leave the girl alone. If you don't fuck with her, you don't fuck with her. Let it go. So they're having a celebration. Everything is going well. They actually get into the celebration. We see Kieran and his sister Ratna, the kids, and they explain what it is. The girls have to put this a bracelet like string on the brother's arm, showing that they'll protect each other and give gifts and stuff like that to each other. Okay, everything is going fine. At one point, Anila took Contessa to the side and was like, I want y'all to, you and Toya to, work whatever it is out. I'm pretty sure that y'all can and all this stuff. And I would feel some type of way just like Contessa did, okay? Because once again, you're getting involved in something that you don't understand. It is not just about a Christmas party. See, let me just say this, and I'm going to be 100% honest because, I feel a way about Toya and I feel a way about Contessa at the same time, okay? Because Contessa can be too much. Contessa can be a lot, you know what I'm saying? And she can come off a little harsh, but I understand it, and sometimes I understand Toya as well. But in this situation with her Christmas party, I don't care what it is. If somebody says take off your shoes when you come into their house, Take off your shoes. Who are you to get an attitude? That's how they keep their house clean. That's how they run their house. It's certain people that have certain traditions in certain cultures where you literally have to take your shoes off before you come into their house, and you put little footies on. You respect that person's home. So why are you getting upset and saying, why do I need to take my shoes off? Okay, that's on Contessa. I wasn't here for that shit. You know what I'm saying? If Toya said take your shoes off, take your shoes off. Respect the bitch house. Okay, and I agree with Simone. This issue between Toya and Contessa is not over no taking those shoes off or whatever. It's about respect. And Toya don't feel like Contessa respects her, and I don't feel like Contessa respects the bitch either. Okay? That's what it is. Meanwhile, they go sit back down, they do all this, and the kids go away. If y'all hear the popping or whatever, it's me keep on popping this open. I'm sorry. So they talking about the stuff. Next thing they was just talking about how it was for the Anila and her sister growing up and all this stuff or whatever. Next thing you know, here comes Toya. So how did y'all even get an invitation? Because I didn't even know y'all talk. And I'm just like, why even? Now, see, Toya, I was on your side with the shoe thing. But see, I'm not on your side now because you could have, you literally know that you and Contessa are not at a good place right now, right? Why ask that question the way that you asked that question at a celebration of somebody else's culture that they invited you graciously with open arms to? Why bring the drama? Okay, why do that? You set it off knowing it takes nothing but a little spark to set either one of y'all off. Okay, and that was the spark. Okay, and at this point, Contessa like, bitch, I'm not finna do this, because Anila was like, whatever's going on between y'all need to fix it. And I'm like, Anila, it's clear that you obviously acting like you ain't seen this show before, and you don't know that it's been issues going on between Contessa and Toya since they first came on the show with each other. Okay, so it's not that simple, baby girl. You know what I'm saying? And they going back and forth. I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna do this or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She just don't like me and all this shit. And Contessa said, in the age of COVID, I don't have time to be going back and forth with somebody over something so small. And Toya gets upset. Oh, y'all, I'm so tired of people blaming stuff on COVID. I'm tired of people blaming stuff on COVID. Well, when you see people die from COVID and stuff like that, then you come back to me. My husband see people die from COVID all the time. Okay, well, that's his perspective. What they got to do with me? Okay, well, why you keep on saying in the name of COVID, everybody trying to do? I'm like, Toya, you sound so fucking ignorant and selfish, and girl, it just, I don't know what it is about Toya that just rubs me so raw. Like, she's to me, the most insignificant person on this cast. She's the most insignificant person on this cast sometimes, and she can be so fucking ignorant sometimes, okay? What is she trying to say is, in this day and age of where we are at, the issues that we have between us is so fucking petty and small compared to what I have to deal with in real fucking life. That is what she's trying to say, okay? So what if she brought up COVID? Because that is what we're going through. People are dealing with bigger things than this petty ass bullshit. And Contessa got up and said she's a fake bitch and I'm not finna deal with this. I'm not trying to curse at your thing or whatever. When she threw that damn napkin down on her, I said, wait a minute, what happened? I'm just sitting here like, this is fucked up. Here we go. We can't go nowhere without no drama starting. So Contessa gets up. She let that napkin drop on Anila like this. Boom. It reminded me of, remember on Black and Crew when Puma dropped that chicken wing on the floor? What it reminded me of, for real, for real. But I get what Anila was trying to do. She was trying to fix something that she should not have tried to fix. And this has been a reoccurring theme for the past couple of nights on reality TV. Quit coming in and get it. If you are a new person and you have not been there from the beginning, quit coming in and trying to fix stuff that you don't understand. Okay? It is not as simple as you think it is. One little outburst or whatever, one little incident. No, this shit has been going on for the past 3 years or so that Contessa been on this show. Okay? And then Anila's mother was trying to stop Contessa. And I didn't like how Contessa, she got so big and tough in her chest or whatever, and she let that get to her so bad that, she did kind of make a scene herself. That wasn't a good look on her, okay? And then when she finally left and, Toya acting like well, this is what she do all the time. And then Anila, so she gonna leave like that in my event? At my event? Girl, fuck your event, okay? Girl, shut up. You should have shut the fuck up, okay? Quit trying to butt in, okay? If you would have just managed your business and just, not said nothing or whatever, either, Toya and you should just let it go at that point. But, who gives a fuck? Like, quit trying to fix stuff. Everybody can't be a peacemaker, okay? Some people just don't. And I was with Eugene. Some people just don't like each other. And that's okay. They don't like each other, okay? Let it go. And I respect the fact that the husband sat there and just let them have it out and didn't say nothing, okay? But that was just the episode. Anyway, y'all tell me, who do y'all think is right or wrong, Contessa or Toya? I think they both made an ass of themselves. They both made an ass of themselves tonight. Not taking sides in this, but they both made an ass of themselves, okay? They both can't get blamed for this whole shit. Because Contessa didn't have to blow up the way that she blew up. Toya didn't have to say what she said. And Anila, you shouldn't have butted in. That's how I look at it. Anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. And I will see y'all later. Peace.